violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And let's get into the video. So this is a local story, an Athens story. Just wanted to highlight what's going on politically in the city so people are aware of certain and imminent changes. So anyways, Athens Commission approves homeless encampment eviction prevention program. And also what they didn't mention in the headline was a drug task force grant. So during a Tuesday evening voting session, the Athens Clarke County Mayor and Commission approved a contract for a sanctioned homeless encampment, an application for a drug task force grant, and an eviction prevention program. The drug task force grant. At the Athens Clarke County Police Department's request, the Commission approved an application for the Edward Byron Memorial Justice Assistance Grant. The grant, which comes from federal funding, will go toward the Northeast Georgia Regional Drug Task Force if the application is approved by the federal government. Since 2012, funds from the grant have gone toward partially paying the salaries of 4 of the 6 total Athens Clarke County Police Department officers that served on the task force. In addition to the Athens Clarke County Police Department officers, the program consists of 1 officer from Clarke County Sheriff's Office and 1 officer from the Oglethorpe Sheriff's Office. The vote comes after Cleveland Spurl, chief of the Athens Clarke County Police Department, shared a press release in support of the grant application. I want to heighten community awareness of drug-related crimes and violence in Athens and to dispel rhetoric that has recently surfaced in anticipation of this critical vote, Spurl said. In 2021 alone, Athens Clarke County police officers have delivered 67 doses of Narcan to individuals suspected of opioid overdoses to counteract the lethal effects of these overdoses. Many of these lives saved are minority lives saved. So they're getting this grant for the drug task force, and I'm not really mad at it, especially if they're targeting opioids and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, they seem to be on top of it. District 2 Commissioner Mariah Parker stated opposition to the application, expressing the grant as a continuation of the war on drugs, which Parker said is a tool of systematic racism. We talked about public safety, but data from the manager's office reveals that 76% of those arrested by the task force this year were African American, despite studies that have indicated that white and black people use and sell drugs at similar rates, Parker said. So obviously there are arguments against this drug task force because brothers is getting caught up. I'm not even big on the war on drugs and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to the drugs, I'm more like, legalize everything type. It's more of like a libertarian stance. So I'm not really big on that, but the argument that she's making is it's just like, we all know why a lot of these brothers is getting caught up. A lot of them are on the goofy time, doing too much and exposing their hand. All right, District 7 Commissioner Russell Edwards acknowledged that the commission needs to do more to work towards decriminalizing the possession of marijuana, but said that this was not the time to do so. The commission approved the application for the grant 7 to Parker, and District 6 Commissioner Jesse Hall voted against. District 4 Commissioner Allison Wright was not present. What I wanted to highlight was the homeless encampment and the eviction prevention. The commission also approved a $2.5 million contract awarded to the Athens Alliance Coalition for the operation of a sanctioned homeless encampment located at 1000 Barber Street. Funding for the operation will come from the Federal American Rescue Plan. So that's pretty much very close to downtown. I don't know what this is going to be. Maybe some apartments, but I have no clue. It's an encampment, so maybe they're talking little tiny houses or small huts, porta potties. I don't know. In June, many unhoused residents were asked to leave an encampment at the North Oconee River Park. The encampment, known as Cooterville, located under CSX railroad tracks on Willow Street, is also set to be cleared. And the reason why they're doing that is because that's a little too close to downtown. It's in the heart of downtown, and this whole street that a lot of the homeless people chill on is right by student housing. And what they'll do is, because I used to live over there, the homeless dudes will like break into your cars. So one time I was out there and they had busted somebody's window. The other time I was out there, they had stole out of my car and like just threw my stuff everywhere. And then they kept hitting my cousin's car and stuff. So they was getting busy over there. And now they're giving them an encampment near Barber Street. It's just like, I don't know, bro. During the public comment portion of the evening, Stephen Mason, the executive director at Bigger Vision of Athens, an Athens homeless shelter, spoke in favor of the encampment. The increase in homeless individuals over the past few years has overtaxed the other systems that get people out of homelessness, Mason said. There's a lack of capacity within the other shelters. Were full every night. Most of the other shelters are full as well. Folks need a place to go. The commission approved the measure 8-1 with District 10 Commissioner Mike Hamby as the sole opposing vote. And this eviction prevention. The commission also approved a $2.4 million contract with the Athenian First Development Corporation to operate an eviction prevention program. Funding for the contract comes from the ARP. Since the U.S. Supreme Court lifted the federal eviction moratorium in August, there are currently between 300 and 325 pending eviction cases in the Clark County Magistrate Court. The contract with AFDC was first presented to the commission on October 19th. AFDC was the sole applicant for the project. So basically, I mean, this is going to discourage people from renting to tenants out here if they can't evict non-paying tenants. AFDC was approved as the project's partner against the manager's office's recommendations. Specific concerns of the office were the nonprofit's inexperience with handling federal funds, the organization's lack of an audit, and that the organization currently has no staff. District 5 Commissioner Tim Denson spoke to how the program is needed in the community. The pandemic highlighted the need for an eviction prevention program, but I think it's obvious that this is a program that is needed year in and year out, pandemic or not, Denson said. This program really benefits the entire community. The commission passed the measure unanimously. So I don't know what this is, if they're preventing landlords from evicting or if they're paying landlords so that they don't evict. I don't know. But I'm not too big on being dependent on government cheese, especially if these tenants are unruly, unreasonable, and they might, tear up your house or something.
This morning, the man accused of killing another man over a pack of cigarettes in Cedar Rapids is set to make a plea deal this week. Jermaine Walker is charged with first-degree murder. Court documents say a plea hearing is set for Friday, but they do not have any other details of the plea agreement.
So this man, Jermaine Walker, killed somebody over a pack of cigarettes. I mean, it just makes no sense, bruh. A lot of these dudes is just really doing the most. They ain't got nothing going on, and you just gonna clap somebody over a pack of cigarettes.
Walker is accused of shooting Wayne Jones in November 2019. Police say Walker was at a party smoking other people's cigarettes. Jones called him out for being, quote, cheap. That's what police say prompted the shooting.
So he was smoking other people's cigarettes, and Buddy called him cheap, and he shot him. I mean, if you bumming cigarettes off of everybody, you kind of are cheap, bruh. And you shouldn't take offense to that. You should just walk in that. Hell yeah, I'm a begging, you know, SOB. You should just walk in. But instead, he want to get mad because he's embarrassed. And this is what I talk about when a lot of these brothers, you know, they grow up leading with emotion. Okay? And it hurts them every time. And it hurts other dudes as well. Obviously. I mean, it's just senseless. He took the plea deal, so you know, he's not taking it to trial. He already know he can for this. I don't know what he was thinking.
The family told me earlier today that what happened here at this gas station makes it clear that this gunman had no regard for human life. He wanted cash, and he was going to do whatever it took, even if it meant killing the clerk. You'll see it in that surveillance video we're about to show you. Tonight, the family tells me that this is the part that they find the most appalling. Tonight, their loved one is recovering in the hospital, and the gunman remains on the run.
Wow. So I've been telling y'all, stop Asian hate, stop Arab hate. We have a brother who goes into this gas station, pops the clerk in the face, and then tries to climb over. I don't know why they are not armed, or maybe they are, but it's a crazy video. So buckle up.
When this armed man walked into the Chevron gas station, it took him not even 1 second to pull the trigger on his gun. We pause the video here because it is graphic and
He didn't even ask. He didn't even ask, buddy. Yo, you know, bring the money up. He just pops him in the face. And I've been saying we've been robbing the bodegas. We've been sticking up the Asian joints, the nail salons. I don't know how many times I got to say this. Not us, not me, not we, but these dudes, these bum dudes, these dusty dudes, man, the Pookies and Ray Rays, not all of the Pookies and Ray Rays, but it's enough of them for them to even propose a Stop Asian Hate crime bill. Like, that wasn't for your white supremacist, white nationalists. Okay? That was for brothers coming in the bodega, coming in the Chinese restaurants, nail salons, all that kind of stuff. And you know, wreaking havoc.
And just awful to see. The clerk is shot right in his face before the man proceeds to slide his body across the counter. He begins to then tussle with the worker, punching him, and then makes his way to the register, trying to get what's inside. It's in that time the clerk runs to make his escape. The gunman appears to go after him, but doubles back to the register. Ultimately, he got nothing. More surveillance video captured the clerk running to the road to seek help. The gunman took off. Here's another look at his face.
So these dudes don't even know how to work the cash register. Ends up getting nothing. He didn't even take no gum. He didn't take no nothing he could like sell on the street. No candy bars, no beers, maybe drinks. I mean, your face all over the place. He didn't even care to wear a mask. And this is in Houston, Texas. This is how brazen these dudes is.
Nobody deserved this kind of act from, even he never did anything bad in his life.
The victim's sister spoke to us. The family wishes to remain anonymous, concerned for their own safety. They can't believe their loved one was treated this callous way.
So obviously this is a Muslim family. Like I said, stop Arab hate. And we better chill out before that jihad and all that kind of stuff, they start directing it at black folks. Because really, every time you kind of listen to the Arabs when they talking on there, or the Muslims when they talking on that, you know, quasi-radical stuff. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm just chilling with terrorists, but I know some dudes who, like, they empathize with the terrorist plight, if you will. All right. And they always say, oh, we don't have nothing against you guys because y'all was just a victim. But, yeah, I mean, the white folks, whatever. Okay. It's a lot of people gunning for the white man. We get that. But when it comes to reality, when it comes to what's happening day to day in the streets, it's pretty much brothers victimizing everybody. Okay? So we got to be careful because we might do this to the wrong one and they going to start directing that jihad at us.
Family was shattered at the moment.
They resettled in Houston 5 years ago after migrating from Pakistan in search of a better life, more opportunities. The 28-year-old clerk was helping to make a way for his family, working full-time at this Chevron station. He typically arrived home every night just after 10 p.m., but last night they got a different call.
It was the baddest situation we have ever faced.
His sister says he called in distress.
He was totally in mourning and he was crying, and it was very, it was very hard to see our loved ones like that.
Yeah, and tonight the family tells me that they truly believe it's a miracle, Mayra and Eric, that he survived this. He is recovering in the hospital, now out of critical care with his family by his side, covering him in prayer.
It's very quiet over here. This area is very quiet. It's very quiet over here.
On Florida Avenue in Brooklyn Park, the Thanksgiving holiday was tainted by tragedy.
It's shocking. I'm speechless, honestly.
Brooklyn Park police say just after 10 Thursday night, a 13-year-old boy accidentally shot his 5-year-old relative during a family gathering.
A preliminary investigation revealed that at some point, about 4 or 5 youth had located a rifle at the home, started using that rifle out in the garage to do some sort of social media type video.
So these teenagers grabbed a rifle to flex on social media for their little friends and end up shooting a 5-year-old. These dudes, how are these young dudes getting the straps? We all know. I did the story on one guy. He was actually manufacturing straps, and he was 13. He ended up killing his sister on accident because he was finna get robbed. Parents, remember I did the story on the guy who left his strap in the Paw Patrol bag, and his kid ended up shooting the mother on a Zoom call while she was at work. A lot of brothers are just like, they leave their strap down, laying anywhere like it's their phone, okay? Not locked up, all that kind of stuff. When kids are around, though, it's got to be different.
Deputy Chief Mark Bruley says first responders tried to save the child, but he died at the home.
This is a very unfortunate accident. Requires a very detailed investigation, which is ongoing right now.
Brooklyn Park police say adults were at the home at the time of the shooting. Who was supervising the children and how they accessed a rifle are now focal points in the investigation.
Lock them up and lock the ammo up separate. We as adults, it's our obligation to make sure that they don't have access to them.
A neighbor with small kids says she feels for the victim's family, but also for the 13-year-old, whose life is now forever changed.
I'm sure it's an accident. I'm sure he's freaking out. He's only a kid, so now he's...
Yeah, and obviously it's an accident, but why is your first resort to be flexing online with a gun and acting like you this and acting like you that? It makes no sense. Like, they was probably trying to act like some little rappers or whatnot. It's we getting too far, man. It's almost like we gone too far. I don't think you can get that out of these dudes that they want to be flashing straps on social media.
He's losing his life, and the 5-year-old lost her life.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.